What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome back again for another video. So another tough loss, and we're gonna discuss kind of like what I noticed from this staff right after this. All right, Bulls Nation. I'm still disappointed, man. I'm fuming from last night, and I can't shake it off. I don't know. I wake up this morning in a bad mood and all that stuff. Hopefully, you guys are not, but hopefully you're having a good weekend. However, you can see from the thumbnail, I can't admit the fact that we're that bad. Like this roster, and I understand what they're saying. It's a flawed construction of roster. I get that. Get it. It is. But with that being said, we should beat the Magic, Pistons, the Thunder, Atlanta. We should, even if it's a bad constructed roster, right? We should be able to. Even the Knicks. Don't tell me that the Knicks front office would not kill for this roster. If Tom Thibodeau is coaching these guys right now, they'll be like 20 and whatever. They have 20 wins easily. He gets the most out of players. The problem is he is not. And I noticed this, and Billy's not a bad coach. He is a good transition coach. And you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Doug Collins. You know, a good transition coach. You know, when you're tanking and you're about to be good. And that's what he is. He the younger guys listens to him. The older guys, the more established one, tends to do whatever they want. And it looks like he does not have the bark or the bite to tell them not to. And that is exactly what Doug Collins was. You know, when he was in Chicago, he coached Michael Jordan. And Jordan did whatever he wanted. And he got all the accolades. You know, he got scoring championship, scoring titles, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. But it didn't translate to team success. It never did. Yes, you can argue that the roster as well changed, but Collins never won any title after that. You know, never did. And he never had any team or any place or anything that is a trademark of Doug Collins. Kind of like, you know, when you go to when you see a team, you know what they're there for. You know, they're a fast break team. They're a half court setup team like San Antonio. They're a defensive minded team, you know, like any Tom Thibodeau, you know, coach team. He does not have a trademark. He does not. And that's what Billy reminds me of. And this reminds me of, just look at the Bulls when they go off a timeout. The play is, you know, kind of hand off, and then it ends up being DeMar in the wing taking a jump shot. That's it. Or Zach 1-on-1 taking a step back three-pointer. You don't need a timeout for that. He has this pattern that doesn't work, that he keeps on doing. And that's not coaching. That's why it's so predictable. You bring the ball down, somebody brings the ball down, Vooch flashes in the middle, you pass it to Vooch, you swing it to the other side, the point guard's going to get it, Vooch, the one who received it in the middle, is going to set the screen, and then they're going to end up, you know, on the wing. That's it. Billy is not it. Billy should be a coach, a transition coach. He was bailed out by having one of the greatest point guards to have ever played for him. You know, in his tenure with OKC, he got Russell Westbrook, prime Russell Westbrook. And what did he do? He became Michael Jordan. He got every statistical category out there. Triple-double, kind of like Michael Jordan, not triple-double, but scoring titles and all that stuff. But it never translated to team success. After a while, you know, after Westbrook left, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chris Paul. Chris Paul, touted as a point guard. So there wasn't a whole lot of expectations when it comes to the Thunder that year, because Chris Paul was supposedly be washed, but obviously he's not. He just had a down year because he's still doing great in Phoenix up to now. So it's not Billy reviving Chris Paul's career. It's Chris Paul having a bad year on the Rockets and not having a good fit. Remember he was injured, and that made Billy look like a genius. Made him look like a genius. It was like, hey, look at this guy, can make the most out of nothing. But in reality, it was Chris Paul. They still were nothing. They didn't advance to any, I think they advanced to the second round, but at the end of the day, that was a team supposed to lose. And they did, but it gave Billy this platform now to be the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. All right. And now here we are. Last year, we went to the playoffs. Of course we should. We spent a whole lot of money with these guys. And let's be honest, this is a playoff caliber team. Maybe not a championship team, but a playoff caliber team. And what did the front office do? Reward him with an extension. And as you can see from the body language of the players, it worked last year because we have Lonzo. Yes, he's not CP3, but also the people surrounding him are not what the Thunder has. This is a very good roster. And now, we're talking about point guard, like the crew from Comcast talking about point guard. And I get it, that is Billy's offense, because he does not call any play. It seems like he just let the players run their thing, and whatever comes out. All right, it is what it is. He depends on those guys, but right now his point guard is not the point god. So now they're being left off the feed for themselves. It's so obvious. First quarter, they're letting, you can see it from a mile away. First quarter, they're trying to get Patrick Williams and Vooch involved, but that goes away. It's just like, it feels like in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the first quarter, they're making a priority to feed, Patrick Williams and Vooch, and then right after that, it's gonna be free for all. Like, they're just gonna take their own shots. And it's okay if it's going in, but if it's not, you gotta make adjustments. You just have to. But I just don't see Billy having the dog in him. There's no dog in this team. Like if DeMar is missing shots, you gotta be in his ear. If Zach LaVine is -30, you gotta be in his ear. Yes, he benched him one time, but Zach pouted, and now he's back to his old ways, taking step back threes and all that stuff. He needs to have a Tom Thibodeau type of assistant coach if that's the case. Not Mo Cheeks, not these guys. Somebody, if it's not an assistant coach, get a player in there. Get Rondo. I don't know, get Taj Gibson. Get somebody who's going to get in these guys' ear to galvanize them and make them play harder. Because he's not getting the most out of these guys. And it's frustrating to watch. Because as flawed as this roster is, they are not that bad. We are better than most teams out there, and this shouldn't be the results. This shouldn't be. And who do I blame it with? On the top, which is the head coach. Because I bet you some other coach can get the most out of this, guys. Some other coach, if anyone besides Billy. Look at what happened to New Jersey Nets. They got a great roster. They didn't listen to Steve Nash. Like the Bulls right now, I feel like he lost the team. Billy lost the team. Yes, we extended him, but it's against the salary cap, so you can get away with it. Do something, AK. I'm just frustrated right now. Thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel, do all that stuff, and hopefully we get a win tomorrow.